Oh, what is up, everybody? Good morning, you CSGO fans out there. Welcome back to more esports talk. Let's break down our CSGO news from this past weekend. I hope you guys did have a great, safe weekend. It was a really fun time. It was a really great time also watching some CS results, which maybe a few people did not expect out there. So as always, all of today's stories will be timestamped down below. The story, though, of ESL New York is all around NRG. Ex-NRG, that being the new evil geniuses, guys. It has to be, right? Especially throughout group stages. They looked phenomenal throughout the entire event. I'm sure you guys already have spoilers in my title as well, and if you guys did not see the event, you might want to go back and watch this one, guys. Evil Geniuses, they might be one of the few teams, if not the only team ever, to return to CSGO for the first time in many years and take their first event. Yes, it's only $200,000 prize pools, but still, guys, it's incredible. And I know, okay, they signed one of the best North American rosters. I think it could be well debated right now. The current best North American roster is the one they did sign, guys. So yes, they won the event, big surprise, but the way they did it, it has to be a surprise. When Astralis is anywhere, if any other team can actually win the event, it's got to be a nice surprise, especially following Astralis' major run. And we'll talk more on that note as well, because throughout group stages, it kind of reminisced that of the major, because NRG did manage to take down Astralis again, like they did in the major group stage, and unfortunately failed at the next level. So I think even here, people were still a bit wary about them going forward, and definitely was probably going to favor Astralis if they did end up meeting in the grand final, which they did, but it was NRG. I'm going to probably make that mistake several times. It was EG taking down Astralis and FaZe Clan in their group run. They went 3-0. They beat both FaZe and Astralis 2-0 in that group as well. And alongside that, other storylines, though. Some teams still looking shaky. United, you know, a massive underdog. Probably as expected result here, guys. And along with that, partnered with the fact Freakazoid just joined that roster to join back up with Cooper and replace a very good player in Moose. That's very expected. ENCE, probably still expected as well. They've been struggling ever since Sunny did rejoin the roster. Their shakiness does continue. We'll have probably more on them as well as they do progress and hopefully do get better, as the public backlash and the public pressure on that team is probably higher than it's ever been in the past year and a half. Along with them, guys, FaZe in their first event with Brokey and Coldzera, I think we saw very few glimpses of what that team can be, and certainly Nico on the IGL has everyone very worrisome, and I would say rightfully so. But again, with a new lineup, especially two new players, we must give them time, and time is what truly does matter to see if that can really work out. So I wouldn't say too many surprises. You look at the storylines, you look at the actual rosters and around the news of those shuffles as well. The teams that went to playoffs is not a huge deal, not a huge surprise, I would say, at least with 3 of the 4. G2, a nice surprise as well. We'll talk more about them hopefully sometime soon, as their roster could be changing today or sometime very soon. At least we have some hints at that roster finally coming to fruition, but they were a nice surprise, a nice top 4 finish for them, as they do face off, unfortunately, against an Evil Geniuses who made quick work of them. Astralis, they continue their dominance against Liquid in their best of 3. Unfortunately enough, you know, Liquid could not pull it off yet again. In the grand finals, though, it's actually Evil Geniuses going off to a jump start. A very, very fast map 1, a semi-close map 2, a map 3. I think a lot of people, by most standpoints, would think maybe got a bit lucky, but it was Astralis being Astralis in their comeback, I believe, to double overtime. It was actually Evil Geniuses, though, with a 15-11 lead blown in that map, but they take them down in map 4 anyway, and I would say in pretty dominant fashion to beat a team like Astralis. But if you guys watched on Sunday, I didn't tweet this out, but I really felt it. I started watching around very, very early in the morning, and then it was pretty late at night, and throughout the entire day, I was kind of checking back in. You know, I only watched probably about maybe 2 of the 4 maps, I would say, but every time I checked back in, I was like, these guys are still playing. Like, it's got to be exhausting to play these best of 5s, even if it only goes to map 4. It was an incredibly long series, probably very taxing as well. But the fact is this, guys, I think the debate has to be there right now. Evil Geniuses, aka ex-NRG, they might be the best team currently in North America. The debate certainly has to be started. And now that with them taking down Astralis twice in the same tournament in a best of 3 and a best of 5, no other team in history has done that against Astralis. It's pretty wild, and they certainly could be in contention for the #1 team in the entire world after just coming back to CS for the first time in years a few days ago. One of the best returns probably for an organization into an esport ever in history has just happened. Ex-NRG, now Evil Geniuses, has now taken ESL New York and taken some of the best teams along with them. And finally, it's also happened as well. Shox has joined Vitality as expected, guys, in place of MBK. We'll see what his future ventures might be. We'll probably talk about one of the bigger stories of this past weekend, probably tomorrow. I'm very hyped to talk about this one. So if you guys know what I'm talking about, MBK and company, possible new ventures out there in CSGO. Vitality, Shox, Shox, though, still a hefty acquirement. Rumor has it $350,000 for that as well to attain him from G2, and we'll talk about G2 changes hopefully tomorrow on top of that, guys. But still very excited. I think very curious, though. A great interview initially conducted by Nell as well as HLTV translated. I will link both those down below for all of you guys. It's the coach actually talking about this XTQ. I don't know what the Z's actually stand for, so all you French fans, you can maybe make sure the pronunciation is down in the comment section. Thank you very much for that. He actually made some great points, though, and some very curious points. First of all, even if they had won the major, they were eventually going to make these changes. That's how set in stone apparently NBK was out of this roster. Even if they won the major, they would have made these changes. I think more importantly, though, it was also his decision. And on top of that, the most shocking point of all, he actually just blatantly says, guys, in the future, they will be going to an international mixed team. This will be the last French-speaking Vitality roster currently we see with Shox will be the last one. And the players apparently know this, as the restrictions of French available talent out there are just too minimal, and they want to go international eventually, like that of G2. Are we seeing the, I don't know if this sounds weird for me to say on a Monday morning, guys. Are we seeing the end of French CSGO? G2 going to go international. Eventually Vitality as well. Who do we look to then? LDLC? White? Blue? Maybe Blue's going to make a return, guys. Who do we look past that? 3D Max apparently coming back, but last time they held a roster was for a few months. And so this could be the end of French CSGO. More importantly, let's focus on the good points here. Vitality Shox is now here, and we'll see if that project does flop or if he can actually live up to his old self. Because let's be honest, if we get top tier Shox and top tier ZywOo, this could be an ugly, really good look. This could get ugly for other teams is what I was trying. It's early. I haven't had coffee. All right, you could probably tell. And also in CSGO news out there, of course, showcased at ESL New York was the brand new Cash. We already knew the reform theme, or the kind of overgrown theme, I should say, on screen for all of you guys. Kind of the map taking back the world that is Cash as well. I think only people really worried about so far from what we've very little seen around that map. And again, we've not seen a hype around a map like this in quite some time, if ever. So I'm very excited for FM Pwn to actually have this map be released. Alongside that, though, I think the actual angle from Car on Ace site, people were like, whoa, we'll have to wait for more confirmations on that, guys. It seemed to be a bit revealing, but either way, besides that, a brand new map coming sometime soon with the rework. And like I said before, we've not seen a really rework talked up this much and hyped up this much, showcased at a top tier event as well. I am super excited to see community reactions when it does come back into the active lineup. The giant question now for all of you guys, if you want to leave a comment and see what map goes next. If Cash goes in, what goes out? And very lastly in CS news for all of you guys, yes, it's going to be what we see pretty much every event out there. That being some loud fans, some very diehard fans giving away team positions. Yes, we've seen a few players out there love to abuse this about the fans, and if there are no soundproof boosts, we see some players, they aim in a certain area, wait for a crowd to react, and maybe take abuse of that. I think by far and away, the majority of pro players out there do not enjoy the fact that you are potentially ruining their game and their livelihoods, guys. So if you are a fan out there, yes, I do know, hopefully this will make a movement for soundproof boosts, especially, let's say, 200K plus events. Some top tier events should always have soundproof boosts, because I think it's been proven time and time again, even if you double plug those ears, something and some things will be heard. And you can never trust a fan, especially a diehard fan, not to want to help his team and that extra step. But unfortunately enough, it did happen again at ESL New York. Some fans were being ushered out, most of course not. But it's unfortunate to see fans doing that. You understand from a certain standpoint, you really want your team to win, but let's not take it that step further, guys. I don't think most pro players actually would encourage you to do so. But as always, my name is Jake, breaking down CSGO news, other gaming news here every single day, all day long. I got a busy day. I'm going to go. Take care of yourselves. And by the way, if you guys have not had it today, drink a cup of coffee, drink a cup of water, something to make yourselves feel better, because I'm going to go do that. All right. Bye.